Next up is Merlin Bunt. Merlin is a fifth-generation Chilliwack native, historian, author, and retired accountant. He is also the creator of the popular Facebook page Chilliwack History Perspectives, upon which since 2014 he has posted weekly original articles on our city's rich past. He recently had his first book, Boom Times in Chilliwack, Memories from the Post-War Years, published by Harbor Publishing. On the strength of this book, he was recognized as the 2025 Chili's Award winner for Top Writer. Merlin has served as treasurer and board member of the Chilliwack Museum and Historical Society since 2016, and he is also a member of the Heritage Chilliwack Society. He regularly speaks to local groups about the city's past and leads heritage tours. Merlin, please come forward.
Thank you. The clock's ticking down slowly. Good evening. As you may be aware, I recently wrote a book called Boom Times in Chilliwack, and you may very well ask, how is that a creative leap? Well, being a 73-year-old retired lawn-bowling accountant, it was certainly a leap for me. And until now, nobody had written a book about, or created a book about Chilliwack after the end of the war. My research sources include the online Chilliwack Progress Archives and the city's archives, but a most special source for me was my recollection of the city's boom times. Being born in the early 50s, I lived through most every story in the book, and this helped me write it. It made it easier and more fun to deal with. Let's go back for a few special stories here. The old CN train station holds special memories for many, including the thrill of waiting by the front door and finally hearing the whistle and seeing the light of an approaching train that might take you off somewhere to an adventure. As the 1980s unfolded, the Chilliwack's heritage train station was sitting empty, and then in 1984, a suspicious fire destroyed it. And today, there's nothing to indicate what once was, and very few cars head down anymore to the end of Nile Street. Back in the day, most small towns had their favorite swimming hole, and Chilliwack had Dayton's pool. It was great with the kids because it was at a location, open at all hours. The water was pretty warm. It was free. There was minimal supervision, and you almost always saw your friends there. Two factors led to Dayton Pool's demise, one being the increasingly contaminated water, and two, the passing of Tony Jefferson in 1966, who was the pool's champion. Today, the now quiet location is covered in heavy vegetation, and it's virtually unknown. Nothing symbolized downtown Chilliwack more than the Paramount Theater. Built in 1949, it provided happiness and memories to many generations. It tried to keep pace with changing times, but eventually it succumbed to old age and market forces. In 1994, the Cottonwood Cinemas 4 opened, and followed by the Galaxy Cinemas in 2010, and that was it for the Paramount. Despite passionate efforts to save it, it came down in 2013, but today the iconic name lives on in the new Paramount building built downtown on the same site. Few buildings mean more to people than Chilliwack Coliseum. Although construction started in 1948, due to funding issues, it wasn't open until 10 years later. But after its 5-year run, it became a part of everyday community life. 2003, work started on the new Prospera Center. The following year, the last event happened at the Coliseum, and it came down in 2005 to the sadness of many. It had been part of their youth with many lasting memories and a link to an earlier era in Chilliwack's history. Chilliwack Senior Secondary School opened on a snowy day back in 1950, and during its 6 decades, tens of thousands of students attended. Great memories were formed of high school, memories were formed of, plus many lifelong friendships were also formed. At the turn of the 21st century, the old high school's functional life was nearing its end, and a new school was planned. The phased construction and demolition started in 2011, and in 2013, the new school opened to students for the first time. As the decade of the 50s dawned and the car culture was taking off, the Chilliwack Drive-In Theater opened. Fond memories endure of driving west on Yale Road on warm summer nights with your friends, family, or a date for a fun time at the old drive-in. Life was changing in the 1980s, and the last picture show at the drive-in took place in 1983. The following year, it was demolished, but in its time, it left a lasting mark on the community's cultural, social, and entertainment landscape. Over the years, Chilliwack had only 3 royal visits, the last occurring in 1959 when Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip spent 1 hour in the community. At 9:15 p.m., they head off in a shiny black limousine convertible as part of a 45-minute 6-car motorcade. After their tour of the city and Fairfield Island, they returned to the train station at 10 p.m. and standing on the back deck of the royal coach, they waved to their fans as the train slowly pulled out, heading to New Westminster for the rest of the evening. When it opened in 1958, Southgate Shopping Center was not only the first mall in Chilliwack, it was the second in all of BC. During the first 3 days, 20,000 people visited the new plaza, and concerns that it might harm downtown never materialized. 3 events changed Southgate forever. In 1974, a major fire destroyed the north wing, and then 2 months later, the new Cottonwood Mall commenced operations, and then in 1988, Southgate's long-term 30-year anchor tenant, SuperValue, closed its doors. And who can forget Chilliwack's cruising loop, driving endlessly between Dairy-Loo, Dog and Suds, and A&W just to see and be seen. But the city's cruising culture eventually ended. The 3 drive-ins closed in the 80s, and in 89, the new Yale Road overpass opened with the railroad. I quite enjoyed writing this book because it allowed me to relive much of my youth. The more our city grows, the more folks want to know about its history, and I believe that Boone Times will fill a big gap here. Other than usual online sources, my book can be picked up at the Owl and Cat Bookery in Garrison, the museum's gift shop, Kohl's in the mall, and the Bookman on Wellington. Plus, if you want, I brought some books tonight. If you want to buy some, I can gladly help you. Thanks very much.